news is all bad out of New York City. 8 people now dead and more than 70 others hurt after that explosion that demolished not one but 2 5-story buildings on the way up east side of Manhattan in East Harlem. And now police say they believe nobody else is missing amid the piles of broken bricks and twisted metal. Of course, this happened Wednesday morning around 9:30 or so in East Harlem, 116th Street and Park Avenue. Investigators say a gas leak triggered the explosion inside one of the 2 5-story buildings. That blast leveled that building and the one next door. Search teams overnight brought in a bulldozer and used sound equipment, they tell us, and cameras to check for any more signs of life. And now the question of who's at fault and what lawsuits may come out of this tragedy. Vicki Ziegler is with us here on the Fox News deck, a defense attorney. It looks like there's a lot of possibilities, Vic.
Oh, Shep, this is terrible. I mean, your hearts go out to the people that lost their lives, the people that are injured. The question becomes, who's at fault? Who's to blame? I think we don't know so many questions that are going to have to be answered, but what pops out right away is negligence. Who was negligent? I mean, things don't just happen by happenstance. Who really is the culprit here? Who's culpable? So let's talk about it. Products liability case, maybe infrastructure, products that are defective, perhaps that could be an issue. Number 2, the building owners, maybe they had some liability. Or more importantly, Con Ed, utility companies. What did they do before this blast actually occurred? What did they do as soon as that neighbor called at 9:13, dispatch, and then what actually happened thereafter? There are serious safety procedures that have to be implemented, and we have to really know what went wrong and what could be fixed. So
it sounds like this leak had gone on for a while. I'm no expert, but just from what the people have said, a neighbor there said he smelled a strong odor of gas the night before, actually went next door to his neighbor's house and said, do you have a gas on or something? Yeah. And then a preacher from the church that was said the same thing, but it looks like nobody reported it.
Which is a real problem. But again, did Con Ed know that there was a possible leak ongoing that could have been corrected? Because they have to do leakage surveys. They have to make sure that their operations are in order based on very strict state laws. That's the question. Did they do their due diligence or not? How did this actually happen? And nobody called until 17 or 18 minutes before the explosion happened. Something doesn't add up. Yeah. I mean, and when the neighbor actually called at 9:13, apparently when they reported it, and Con Ed, they said it was a low tolerance, that it wasn't an emergency. That really strikes me as odd as well. So I think that investigation is going to have to continue and really see who actually may have a lawsuit.
This may have nothing to do with it, what I'm about to say, but I'm sure you read in the newspaper over the weekend, last weekend, before this happened, that our city's infrastructure is so incredibly old. Most of the gas lines in the city more than 50 years old. The water mains more than 100 years old.
Very true, and that probably has something. Was there any type of culpability?
Could have been. I mean, it could have been somebody left a stove on it. We don't have any way to know yet. But that fact remains.
It does, and what has to happen to make sure that the public is safe? Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Could that have been a contributing factor to this explosion? Could it have been saved? Could all of these people that have been killed, unfortunately, been saved? That's the question. It's going to be a long investigation, but I definitely think this is not the first time we're going to hear about a lawsuit. It's coming soon.
No, many years to come. Vicki Ziegler, good of you. Thank you.